Hi, it's Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media. I now have Joshua Cotton with me here in Breakbulk Studios, who is part of our Everyday Innovation panel. Joshua's with Bechtel, head of the equipment. Tell me again.
Service operations manager for the equipment division for Bechtel Equipment Operations.
Okay, what does that encompass? Tell us a little bit about that.
So basically my role is to make sure that the equipment team on the projects have the infrastructure they need to execute efficiently and safely on the projects. So because Bechtel is a global company and we often start up projects in very remote areas, we have to basically build a business from the ground up. And so we have to go in there and train the local people and make sure that they have the tools that they need and the systems they need in place to be successful.
All right. Well, that sounds like a big job.
It is. It's challenging, it's fun, but
That's
it
great.
can be challenging at times.
What are some of the new technologies that Bechtel's using now?
So I think probably one of the most, recognizable technologies is the use of UAVs today. So we're using UAVs on our projects to survey large areas, to get daily updates. We take really valuable 360 panoramas at various locations on a project. And the power of the UAVs today is the repeatability. So I can take a picture from the same point in space every single day, and then show a very consistent linear progression of the project.
And is there software that sort of makes that a visualization?
Yes.
Or are you just no?
No, there is software, yes. And so actually,
Okay.
what's interesting is we use a piece of software from the real estate industry. So the real estate industry developed this to showcase properties and give you virtual tours. And so we took that virtual tour technology and we applied it to our projects. And so now it's a very useful tool. So, and there's a lot of other use cases we have that are proprietary, that I can't discuss, but that's just kind of the nature of what we do. We're always trying to push the envelope and innovate.
Yeah, absolutely. We've certainly been familiar with Bechtel's innovation through your colleague Spo, who we'll talk to in a little bit. But how do you account for sort of the cutting edge thinking and seems a corporate culture to be pushing forward, looking at innovation, new technologies? How did that come about to what seems to be somewhat of a conservative company, been around a long time? My dad was with Bechtel for years and years. So how did that transform?
It's basically driven from the top down. I mean,
Okay.
Brendan Bechtel is very passionate about innovation. And without going into too much detail, he's dedicated a lot of resources within the company to drive innovation. And all of our senior management is on board with it. And so innovation is a lot more than just a buzzword around Bechtel. It's something that we definitely all strive for, and it's recognized whenever you innovate, and it's appreciated. So you're right. It has become part of our culture, which is one of the things that's very exciting about working for Bechtel.
Absolutely. Now, before you came on, I had your youngest daughter on, who was part of the presentation today as well, showing her robotic skills. That was pretty impressive. I understand you have quite a bit of technology at home,
Yes.
right? So tell us about that. I mean, it seems like you are really bringing up kids that love different types of technology, are comfortable with technology. How do you do that?
So it's just kind of part of who I am. I've always been the kind of person that, if I see something, I'm just like, I can do it better, or I want to figure it out. Not because I'm arrogant, because I'm curious. And so I've always been curious about, any type of new technology. So what I try to do is just get the technology in front of the kids and let them play with it, let them use it. I'm not afraid to let them break it, because if they break it, they'll learn about it. So yeah, I mean, I started 3D printing in 2011. I built a 3D printer. I have CNC machines, robots.
And your own UAVs too,
Yes,
right?
I have my own UAVs. I'm a licensed pilot, so like I said, I take the kids flying all the time. And it's funny, actually, my 16-year-old's getting his driver's license now, and we laughed the other day because I've spent more time teaching him how to fly a plane than driving a car. And he's frustrated about that because he can't fly the plane to school.
Exactly. Well, maybe soon we'll have flying cars, so it'll all converge.
Or I think we're going to fly in drones, or we're going to have people riding drones before we have flying cars.
Drones.
I think that'd be more realistic. So.
All right. So how do you see maybe in the next 10 years, how will technology evolve within your construction and engineering sector?
So one of the things we're looking at is basically it's just automation, and what we want to use automation for is not to necessarily replace people. And that's the fear is people say, oh, you're gonna automate everything, you're gonna get rid of people, and it's not what we want to do. What we want to do is we want to use people for the right things, right? So we want to upskill the people and let technology do, what you might call the lower cortex functions, right? The stuff that we don't really need to spend a lot of time doing. And so we want a smarter workforce that's freed up to use their intelligence and actually be a lot more productive and efficient for the company. So that's where we're looking. And also, the number one goal is to make the job site safer, right? So that's one of the things that we're looking at is how do we make it safer? How do we get people out of harm's way? How do we get robots or automation to take care of tasks that might be considered unsafe for people to do, right?
Absolutely.
So that's our goal. That's what we're looking at.
That's excellent. Evelyn, come up and join your dad for just a second. This is the face of the next generation, right? All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you. Enjoyed it.